Eastbound and down, load it up and truck it. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch old bandit run. Keep your foot on the wheel. Son, never mind them brakes. Let it all hang out.
Hi, I'm Dev Galashaw, and welcome to another edition of Unfinished Business. This week, we are going to talk about the it girl phenomenon, but that's not going to be the main subject. I just like to start off with the it girl phenomenon. If you don't know, the it girl phenomenon is that every year Hollywood deems some new young actress to be the it actress and is going to go on to be, necessarily the next Meryl Streep or just the next in-demand actress. And sometimes this usually works out, but it usually doesn't, because the actress usually gets one defining role and then she ends up after that only getting really girlfriend or wife roles, or sometimes some don't even get defining roles and they just end up playing girlfriends and wives. Think Rosario Dawson. You can also think of maybe Hilary Swank and Maya Sorvino in this, whereas they got these defining roles where they won Oscars, but really Hollywood didn't really know what to do with them as far as box office. So while they're great in Mighty Aphrodite and Hilary Swank and Boys Don't Cry and $1 Million Baby, if you notice, they don't exactly have films that they normally star in one genre that really defines them. Hilary Swank has tried action, sci-fi. She even was in a Brian De Palma film trying to play the sex pot, but they didn't exactly work. Now, one of my favorite it girls of all time is probably the second woman I've ever had a crush on from being on screen. First one is Jenna Rollins, okay? But that was more when I was more like 3 or 4 years old. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, she's not hot. She's an older woman, mature hot. But the one who was my second is Miss Jennifer Connelly. I love Jennifer Connelly. I don't think Jennifer Connelly works enough, even though she does work a lot. I first became aware of who Jennifer Connelly was. Like most young men, I watched the movie Labyrinth, the one with the Muppets, and David Bowie in his codpiece. I fell in love with her. Hey, it was okay. She was 15. I believe I was 10 or 9. I was just blown away, not only by the film, because I still love the Muppets to this day, but I just was like, wow. And I think that has influenced me when it comes to women I'm attracted to, because I prefer brunettes over blondes any day. Even though she was a teenager in that movie, there's a ballroom scene and she looks like a full-fledged woman in that ballroom scene. From a young age, I saw the film Once Upon a Time in America because my uncles loved that film. So I saw it and I was shocked to see her in this film, and I was like, whoa, this is a more serious work. And she's excellent in it. It's a little rougher than Labyrinth was, so it's a little more shocking. But, I still maintain my crush. And then she did a film called 7 Minutes in Heaven that I saw on HBO that to this day I cannot tell you what the plot is, but, I remember really enjoying her in that film. The next film I really remember her in was the movie Career Opportunities. While I enjoy the film and I enjoy Frank Whaley in the film, I have to say that most of the film and the film's marketing is based more on Jennifer Connelly's body, because she had grown up noticeably from Labyrinth and, she had become a woman with curves and a bigger bust. And, most of the characters cannot stop but drool over her. I mean, they literally have her in a scene riding one of those quarter moving horse toys where she's riding it and, she's moving, and you get the idea. If you notice, she never really played those kind of explicitly, or roles where it was built on just her body alone. Yes, I've seen Requiem for a Dream. That was graphic sexually, but I felt that at least with that role, it was what was needed for the character. She also did another film called Walking the Dead, which was sexually explicit, but again, it was more of a character-based thing, which is, I noticed more in her recent work what she's more about rather than, hey, let me just be in this film. Because it has proven more and again in times to bite her on the ass when she does that. Case in point, Hulk, where she played Betty Ross. Now, it has its fans, but that film was just so universally panned that, I don't feel like she really ever went back to, just trying to appear in a blockbuster to appear in a blockbuster, unless she had a real reason to do it. But see, I'm contradicting myself because I'm thinking of later films like The Day the Earth Stood Still that she starred in. Don't forget, was in A Beautiful Mind. Now, the rest of the cinephiles are not huge fans of Ron Howard. I'm not going to sit here and say he's my favorite director either. I enjoyed it. She won an Oscar for A Beautiful Mind, and I feel like everybody more remembers the twist, but if you really look at her work there, she really shows what it's like for a woman to be in love with a man who is schizophrenic. I actually got to meet Jennifer Connelly all for the briefest of times. Let me take you back. I'm working at the movie theater. She had, at that time, decided to do a television show called The Street, which was about all these Wall Street brokers. It only lasted one season. But they decided to hold the premiere at the movie theater, which I was working. The refreshment stand for, specifically the candy stand. So, after the premiere, all the stars come out to take pictures, outside of the thing. And of course, they're all standing right by my candy stand. And there she is, the beauty that she is, Jennifer Connelly. She passes by me, and we made eye contact just for a brief second. But I felt something. I doubt she felt anything, but I definitely felt something, and it's not what you guys think I was feeling. That was my personal experience with Jennifer Connelly, because I wasn't going to geek out on her because they had security. I did watch the Brendan Fraser movie Inkheart and was surprised to see her in the film. Of course, the film does co-star her husband, so I think that's more or less why she was in the film. But I guess I'm just tired of seeing her in these supporting roles in these big movies when I think she could be the star. She was in Little Children with Kate Winslet and Patrick Wilson, and she plays more of a supporting part. I mean, if you're going to play supporting to anybody, it might as well be Kate Winslet, but you have a woman here who is beautiful in her own right and has won an Oscar, and no offense to Kate Winslet, but I felt she could have played the other, Kate Winslet's role. And then she was also in the film Reservation Road with Joaquin Phoenix and Mark Ruffalo, which ended up being a decent film, but I'm not a fan of either one of those actors. But it also co-starred not only Jennifer Connelly, but another actress who I had previously mentioned, Myra Sorvino. And unfortunately, like both of their careers, the film was rather good dramatically and was supposed to be this Oscar bait movie, but it got lost in the shuffle. I just want it to be known, I'm not a stalker in any kind of way. She's just an actress who I have always watched her work over the years, and I just don't know if it's because of her wanting to start a family or if it's the way Hollywood has treated her that I think she could be getting bigger and better roles. But I know how Hollywood likes to age out certain actresses, because I've watched plenty of films where I've thought, this film could use more Connelly, sort of like, the old Christopher Walken thing with more cowbell. So if you see me on the streets or anything, a good way to say that you recognize me could be like, more Jennifer Connelly. This will bring this show to a close, but a thing I have neglected to ask you that I always ask you, have you guys seen Scott Pilgrim? If not, you should, because it's fucking awesome. And speaking on that, before I end the show, I'm going to pose it to you, the fans, because really this show is all about you guys. Tell me if you want me to keep saying, Scott Pilgrim is fucking awesome, or do you want me to put another film, recommend another film? Now, I'm going to leave it up to you, the fans. More Jennifer Connelly. So that ends this week's business. But remember, in the future, there's always plenty of unfinished business. And I will see you next time.